I almost exclusively get my McDonald's orders to take away because McDonald's is a prison and I live nearby. Just look at it now, though, and take a look at what we had before. No, I'm not just being nostalgic. There's been a gradual decline in the amount of color and whimsy in this restaurant. And I mean, who is this for? Who's enjoying these flat-pack McDonald's more than they enjoyed the fun McDonald's? McDonald's advertising these days is all contemporary. Just show the food and explain the food and maybe mention something slightly relatable.
To the people who reach into a carton of McDonald's world-famous fries and return with just one. How do you do that? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
You know how you know a restaurant has a bit of soul to it? It's when you remember things about the restaurant that aren't the food. I mean, of course, yeah, you still remember the food. Ideally, I mean, that's the number one thing you want out of a restaurant. But, like, you want to remember other things as well.
I mean, what is the theme here? It's boring!
And what do I remember about the current iteration of McDonald's? Well, the food and the golden arches, and that's literally it. Everything else is gone. But that doesn't stop McDonald's from occasionally trying to remind us that it once had a bit of a soul. Here in the UK last year, McDonald's celebrated its 50th anniversary. Did I say that all in the right order? What I mean is 50 years of McDonald's being in the UK. And for it, they rolled out the classic McDonaldland extended cast. You had Grimace, the Hamburglar, Birdie, Officer Big Mac, the works, they're all back. Except Ronald McDonald. McDonald's 50th anniversary, and yeah, they've got the cast back, but arguably the most iconic fast food mascot of all time is nowhere to be found. That'd be like SpongeBob SquarePants being taken off the air only for decades later for it to make a comeback without SpongeBob. And I was reminded of this by the recent Minecraft promotion. In celebration of the release of a Minecraft movie, McDonald's are doing Minecraft-themed Happy Meals, but as well as that, they're doing adult Happy Meals, where you get a choice of a Big Mac or Chicken McNuggets, a side, a drink, an apple cake McFlurry, and a quote-unquote collectible. But the difference between the Happy Meal toy of the Minecraft movie and these adult collectibles is that the adult collectibles are like the McDonald mascot characters recreated in Minecraft's pixel art style. Because I guess adults just have more of an affinity for McDonaldland? You know what? That checks out. But once again, you've got the entire McDonaldland cast except for Ronald McDonald. Now, I guess Ronald McDonald would probably be a bit more difficult to make in that pixel style. And he's not completely forgotten. He is in a picture frame in the background of the commercial. But again, it really is everything except that centerpiece of the McDonaldland universe. And Grimace, the Hamburglar and stuff, yeah, they're all fairly iconic in their own right, but without that one centerpiece, it's just not complete. So what happened to Ronald McDonald, McDonald's missing clown? Well, since 2003, McDonald's have been kind of shifting sensibilities in their advertisements, going for more contemporary things like jingles and catchphrases rather than mascots, but also citing childhood obesity concerns.
Oh, Debbie, look, this is my breakfast.
McDonald's wanted to market more towards adults than children, and Ronald McDonald, being the very colorful mascot that he is naturally going to appeal more towards kids than he is towards adults. But the real straw that broke the camel's back for poor Ronald McDonald was the rise in creepy clown sightings in 2016. What a weird year. Sometimes they were just stalking people, sometimes they were a little more violent than that. And I think, look, the general perception of clowns does skew much more Joker and Pennywise these days than it does poor old Ronald McDonald. It's why his arm is the mascot of the Ronald McDonald Foundation charity. Alright, so fair, we want to market McDonald's more towards adults then. Make it more of a parental decision to eat at McDonald's rather than a child's decision. Ah, well, how consistent they've been with that, and what a great job they've done.
What was your dad's favourite too?
But here's the thing. Adults are not all soulless husks that only think about prison. At least not the generation I'm in. Some of us still kept our soul thanks to recreational drugs, and I can think of no better place to get absolutely blitzed than a classic McDonald's. Like, this is gonna be a nightmare. That's awesome. And I mean, there does appear to have been a bit of a shift in kids these days as well. They don't play with toys as much as previous generations of kids did. They don't play games consoles as much as previous generations of kids. They're more about phones. And no disrespect to them. But in that case, maybe making McDonald's look like a whimsical whimsical enchanted forest is more appealing to adults now than it was before. We all live miserable lives in a world that is gradually being taken over by AI. A world where if you watch a review of Disney's awful latest live-action remakes, you don't know if you're actually going to be getting a review or if you're just getting groomed into the alt-right. Total gamble. Companies like Warner Brothers think it's acceptable to delete finished films. God forbid I talk about world politics. Maybe us adults want to go to a whimsical, mystical forest or a fucking UFO more than the kids do these days. But I get it. There is a lot working against Ronald McDonald in this day and age. So I'm going to ask two questions. Question 1, what would it take to get me to buy a Minecraft adult collectible? Question 2, how do we win back the soul of this company? The answer is the same thing for both questions. Him. So here's my proposal. Reclaim Mac Tonight and bring him back. Mac Tonight was kind of McDonald's de facto mascot in the 80s and early 90s, serving to advertise McDonald's more from the angle of it's somewhere you can go late at night after work and get a burger. A source of comforting respite after the long work day. Mac Tonight would sing to you in his dulcet Doug Jones tones.
It's Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
And I'm gonna say this straight up, this ad campaign has aged wonderfully. I was born in 1996, just 1 year before Mac Tonight was phased out. So I've got no first-hand memory of Mac Tonight. Not to mention he was more of a USA thing. So how did I even discover Mac Tonight? Well, obviously he's been referenced in pop culture from time to time, but I was in a Facebook group called Images That Go Hard, and someone posted a picture of Mac Tonight, and my response to this was, that goes really fucking hard. That's fucking awesome. And I wanted to find out why we don't see this guy anymore. And while it's not the reason why Mac Tonight was originally phased out, this is probably a large part of the reason why Mac Tonight wasn't brought back. Putting this footage here makes it look like he had a live crash out, but no, that's not what I'm getting at. It's because, under the new name of Moon Man, he kinda got assimilated as the mascot of the 4chan group You're the Man Now Dog, making him the face of a lot of alt-right memes. Similar things have happened to poor Pepe the Frog as well. Same goes for the Punisher symbol. But the creator of Pepe the Frog wants to reclaim Pepe from the alt-right and make him what he was meant to be. Just a funny frog guy. And I fully support that. I like Pepe too. It's a shame what happened to him. The recent Daredevil Born Again series seeks to reclaim the Punisher logo as well. So I think it's time McDonald's do the same and restore Mac Tonight as the company's mascot. Given his less colorful appearance than Ronald McDonald, he's naturally going to appeal more towards adults. At the end of the day, assimilated or not, there is nothing racist about this cool little moon dude wearing sunglasses. And if McDonald's want to avoid him being associated with racism, best thing to do is make sure that more people talk about Mac Tonight in a non-racist context than there are people that do. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, Hitler drank water. Are we all gonna stop drinking water because of that? No. If we stop having fun just because racists happen to have fun too, that's like how you lose. So imagine McDonald's trading out the prison kitchen aesthetic for maybe like a nighttime aesthetic. Moons and stars everywhere. And you've got Mac Tonight back as the mascot. It's an awesome, timeless, striking design that is every bit as soothing as what an adult wants these days. We just want a little bit of comfort, you know? McDonald's is kind of the comfort food. McDonald's is the place to rock. Let's make it that way again. And that's why they gotta bring back my boy Mac Tonight. Not for racist reasons, but because he's just really cool. At the end of the day, look, I love Ronald McDonald, and I would be so happy to see Ronald McDonald back. But I get it. They don't want to contribute to the child obesity epidemic. It's not like McDonald's has done plenty of morally dubious stuff since then. They're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Of course they do shady shit. But we can at least pretend that this company is cool again, right? We could at least pretend that the pop culture landscape isn't absolutely washed. We could at least pretend that fast food is still fun. Also, bring back the McRib as a permanent menu item and stop embarrassing yourselves.